નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી. Standard 8, Subject Science, Chapter 9, Reproduction in Animals. So dear students, today we discuss development of embryo. So you know that when the male and female, okay, see the male and female fuses combine to form zygote. And this zygote, you know that here male produces sperms and female produces ovum, or you are saying that this combined forms zygote, and this zygote develops becomes an embryo. Okay. Now we'll see that how does an embryo develops. See, fertilization results in the formation of the zygote, fertilization results in the formation of the zygote, which begins to develop an embryo. So then the embryo formation takes place. Then zygote divides repeatedly. See, zygote is what happens? Dividing repeatedly to give rise to a ball of cells. So like this ball of cells. The cells then begin to form groups of development into different tissues and then organs of the body. Okay, what happens? Zygote divides rapidly. See, zygote is a single cell, divides rapidly. Like this, 1 becomes 2, and 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8. So like this, divides rapidly. And what happens? Ball of cell. And this ball of cell develops into tissues differentiate. So it becomes into tissues differentiate happens. Then the organ happens. Then finally body part develops. So then it will be body parts develops. Okay, in this way embryo develops. So this developing structure is called as embryo. So this is called as an embryo. The embryo gets embedded. See where this embryo gets embedded in the walls of the uterus. So embryo is placed or gets firmly fixed. Embedded means firmly fixed on the walls of the uterus. For the further development, here that you will get the nutrition and like this. Okay. The embryo continues to develop in the uterus. It gradually develops body parts such as hands, legs, head, eyes and ears. So like these parts would be developing. The stage of the embryo in which all the body parts can be identified, so that is called as feeders. See, FOEDs. See, the stage of the embryo in which all the body parts can be identified, so that is called as a fetus. Spelling is FOETUS. See the pronunciation also here. Okay, when the development of the fetus is complete, when the development is completed, then the mother gives birth to the baby. Okay, now internal fertilization takes place in the hands also. See, dear students, try to understand here. Internal fertilization takes place in the hands also. But do the hands give birth to the babies like human beings and cows? The question is that here, do the hands is giving babies like human beings and cows? No. So you know that they do not. Then how the chicks means HICS, how the baby forms. Let us find out. Soon after the fertilization, the zygote divides repeatedly. You know that zygote divides repeatedly and travels down the oviduct. So where goes? This zygote divides and travels through the oviduct. As it travels through the oviduct, so what happens? As it travels down, many protective layers are formed around it. See what happens? Many protective layers. As it travels, so like it travels, So like it travels in the oviduct, and then what will happen? Many protective layers are formed around us. Okay, so this the hard shell. Then later the hard shell that you see in the hen sac is one such protective layer. So what you are observing in the hen shell, that is a example of the protective layer. See, afterwards what happens? Afterwards the hard shell is formed. Anyhow, the hard shell is formed in this way around the developing the embryo. Then develops the embryo. The hen finally lays the eggs. Then the hen gives the eggs. See, the embryo takes about 3 weeks to develop. How many days? 3 weeks, at like 21 days to develop into a chick. So baby. So 21 days times. So you must have seen that hen sittings on the eggs to provide sufficient warmth. You know that on the eggs hens are sitting, that they are giving suitable temperature or sufficient warmth to the eggs. Did you know that, the question is asked here, dear students, did you know that the development of the chick takes place inside the egg? So the development takes place inside the egg shell during those periods. Okay, then after the chick is completely developed, after the chick is completely developed, it bursts open the egg shell. Then what will happen? Egg cover, what you are saying, that it will be broken down. So in animals which undergo external fertilization, see dear students, in animals that undergo what? External fertilization, development of the embryo takes place outside the female body. See, in the animals what will happen? You see, which undergo external fertilization. So it goes to the external, outside. Development of the embryo takes place outside the female body. So where it takes place, dear students? Outside the female body, the embryos continues to grow. The embryos, what happens? Continues to grow within their egg coverings. So after the embryos develop, the eggs will be hatching. See, after the development of the embryo, then the eggs are hatching. See, I think you must have seen the numerous tadpoles swimming in the ponds and streams. Okay, students. Now we will see that viviparous and oviparous animals. So what do you mean by viviparous and what do you mean by oviparous animals? So we have learned that some animals give birth to the young ones. See, you know that some of the animals are not giving eggs, they are directly giving young ones. See, that is when your animals will give birth to the young ones are called as viviparous animals. So this is called as a viviparous animals. For example, you see humans, cats, dogs, so like that, all the higher animals. So they are giving directly birth to the young, they will not produce the eggs. The animals which gives to the birth to young ones are called as, okay, that's over. The animals which lay eggs, so another one you see, the animals which lay eggs are called as oviparous animals. So some of the animals giving eggs, so they are called as, what you are saying, oviparous animals. Okay, for example you see fish, frog, butterfly. So like these animals giving directly eggs to them. See, the eggs of the few of the animals are easy to observe. See, dear students, some of the eggs of the animals are easy to observe because their mothers lay them outside their bodies. So where? Because the eggs are laid outside the bodies. So these are the examples of what? Oviparous animals. But you would not able to collect the eggs of the dog. See, can you collect the eggs of the dog, cow or cat? No. Why? This is because of they do not lay eggs. The cell is inside the body, inside the mother body. The mother gives birth to the young ones. So okay, these are the examples of the viviparous animals. Okay. So now we will see one activity is given here. Try to observe the eggs of the following is given. See, look here now. Try to observe the eggs of the frog, lizard, butterfly, moth, hen, and crow or any other bird. So here given that activity is given to you. What is given? Visit a garden near who or who. Visit a garden near your home. Look for the eggs of the frogs, butterfly, lizard, or crow like these. Visit a local shop to look at the eggs of the hen, or even you can consult the shop also. Observe the eggs carefully and note down the differences what you are observing. So what note the size, what you are going to observe, that you have to note down this, that you will observe that the size you are observing, color you are observing, and shapes of the each of the eggs you are observing. Shapes also. Say what you are observing, size you are observing, color you are observing, and shape you are observing, and make a drawings of these eggs. So then what your scrapbook you have to take, and you have to note what you have to color, what you have to draw the sketch of that. So then observation is the eggs of each organisms are different in the shape and different in the size. See what you are observing there, you will observe that the eggs of the different shape are the eggs of the different organisms are different in the shape and as well as different in the size. Okay, now from this you will come to know that of conclusion, animals such as hens, frogs, etc. lay eggs outside their bodies. So they lay eggs outside their bodies. So such animals are called as oviparous animals. So then you have to write the conclusion like this. See, they lay eggs outside their bodies. So that is why such animals are called as oviparous animals. Okay. Now, animals such as cow, dogs, and these are all do not lay eggs. So they will not provide the eggs. So that is why what happens? But they give birth to the young ones. So they give directly young ones. You are telling the babies, young ones. So that is why such animals are called as viviparous animals. So what we are calling, dear students? So we are calling them as viviparous animals. Okay, dear students. So like this way, you have to observe the surroundings. So now today what we have learned? Today we have learned the development of embryo. What do you mean by embryo? So after the fertilization, results the formation of the zygote, and afterwards the development. So that is called as a embryo. So that you are saying that is a embryo. Then the embryo gets embedded in the walls of the uterus. So the development takes place in the uterus. And the stage of the embryo in which all the body parts can be identified. See, the stage of the embryo in which all the body parts can be identified. So that is called as a, what you are saying? The fetus you are saying. But the spelling pronunciation is quite different. See, F-O-E-T-U-S-E. So don't say the wrong pronunciation. The pronunciation is fetus. Okay? So then afterwards you learn that viviparous animals and oviparous animals. The definition, animals which give birth to animals are called as viviparous animals. And examples, humans, cats, and this all. And then you learn that the animals which lay eggs are called as oviparous animals. Example, fish, frog, butterfly, and etc. Okay, dear students. So we will discuss remaining. Remaining means what is remaining in this lesson now? The young ones to adults. So this is remaining. And also asexual reproduction is remaining. So this we will learn in the next video. Till that, bye-bye. Thank you for joining us.